Something important is moving toward you, and it isn't something in the distant future. It is arriving now. You may already feel it in your body, in the strange heaviness in the air, in the way your thoughts have been shifting, in the unusual rhythm in your chest that feels like something inside you is trying to wake up. This is not your imagination playing tricks on you. This is the moment your spirit has been waiting for, a deep internal activation that has been building quietly for years. Around this time, your life begins to crack open. Old energy breaks apart. The path you have been walking for too long begins to feel tight and uncomfortable, and something inside you rises like a switch flipping on its own. Most people will go through their days unaware of this shift, but you already sense the change coming closer. You feel watched, guided, pushed toward a new chapter you were never meant to miss. This is not a prediction or a horoscope. This is a wake-up call for people meant to break into a higher timeline. Being a series of powerful breakthroughs start aligning themselves around you. They don't arrive slowly. They come suddenly, changing things from the inside out. The first wave cracks your old timeline open and pulls you out of patterns that have held you in place. Things that used to delay you lose their influence. People who once had power over your emotions suddenly feel distant. The goals you once chased no longer feel meaningful. You may find old memories resurfacing, or relationships feeling strangely far away, as if they belong to a version of yourself that no longer exists. This is not. This is you being lifted out of a life that cannot support the person you are becoming. The betrayal cycles that once left you wounded stop repeating, not because the people have changed, but because you are no longer the energetic match for that pain. You cannot stay in the reality you have outgrown, and the universe refuses to let you shrink back into it. Gently as this shift unfolds, it may feel like your life is being taken apart, but you are not losing anything. You are being released from what cannot follow you into your next chapter. Identity begins to dissolve. The version of you that tolerated disrespect, dimmed your light, and accepted less than you deserved is no longer allowed to exist. The changes come quick, like a silent burst that disconnects you from everything too small for the person you are becoming. People pull away, opportunities shift, unexpected endings and sudden openings appear in your path. It might feel chaotic, but it is not chaos. It is alignment. Invisible hands are clearing the space for something better, something higher, something long overdue. And once the old timeline breaks apart, the universe begins removing the shadows that surrounded you. Someone who drained you may suddenly fall away. People who fed on your energy, who took advantage of your kindness, who twisted your loyalty for their benefit, will feel their connection to you disappear. You will notice their presence fading from your life, not with a dramatic ending, but with a quiet disconnection. You stop caring, you stop reaching out, you stop giving them access to your emotions. That silence you feel is protection, not loss. It is the universe stepping in after watching you carry people who were never meant to walk this path with you. When the bond breaks, you may feel lighter, clearer, or unexpectedly peaceful. That feeling is the proof that the shadow has collapsed and that your energy is beginning to rise again. Being with that collapse comes something even deeper. A protective force starts forming around you, shielding you from the things you could not see. Attacks that once hit you now pass by without touching you. Words that once hurt fall flat. Negativity that once shook you stops reaching your spirit. You may feel a strange calm, an inner quiet that seems stronger than you. That is the protection taking shape around you. People who secretly held envy or ill intentions become exposed without you having to do anything. Their behavior reveals them, their masks fall, and their influence disappears. Plans that weren't right for you fall apart. Situations that hid danger are removed before you even know why. To you, it may look like confusion, but behind the scenes, it is precision. You are being kept away from things that could interfere with the life you are stepping into. Dabi and D as this protection strengthens, your intuition sharpens, your path feels clearer, your inner voice gets louder. The noise that once clouded your mind begins to fade. You may feel a weight lifting from your shoulders or a fog dissolving from your thoughts. You may notice your energy settling into a deeper strength, a steadier calm, as if something beyond you is guiding your footsteps. You are not walking into this next chapter alone. Something powerful is standing with you, your spirit, your guides, your ancestors, your higher path. This shift marks the beginning of a different kind of life for you, one that has been waiting behind every struggle, every delay, every heartbreak, every lonely moment. The protection around you is growing stronger, even if you can't see it directly. Your spirit is being guarded in ways you may not fully understand, and the path ahead of you is being secured with a force that feels bigger than anything you could create on your own. This kind of protection is not soft or subtle. It is powerful and immediate, and it works without announcing itself. That's why certain people may suddenly act differently around you, why certain plans that once felt solid may collapse unexpectedly, or why conversations might end before you can make sense of them. The universe doesn't pause to give explanations when it is shielding you. It simply steps in, moves what shouldn't be near you out of the way, and makes sure you aren't pulled into something that could harm the next chapter of your life. And the reason this is happening now is because something meaningful is getting ready to arrive. Big blessings always come with strong protection, and the stronger the shift you're about to step into, the earlier the universe begins clearing your path. That's why certain people can't reach you anymore, and why negative energy seems to bounce off you. You're being positioned carefully and intentionally. If you notice your spirit becoming calmer and more grounded, it's a sign that the shield around you is fully active and already working. Blind to this, another shift begins to unfold. Your financial energy starts to open in a way that feels sudden and undeniable. Things that were stuck or delayed for months begin moving again. It might start with a small sign, a forgotten refund appears, an old debt gets cleared, someone reaches out with an opportunity you weren't expecting, or something valuable comes back into your life without effort. You may feel this change before you see it physically, like a quiet sense of hope, a spark of excitement, or a feeling that something good is finally headed your way. This internal signal is the first indicator that your financial timeline is correcting itself. Burdens begin to lift. Stress begins to ease. A weight that has been sitting on your chest starts dissolving. And suddenly the opportunities you once chased now show up on their own, choosing you without you forcing anything. This is not luck. The universe is removing whatever was blocking your abundance and allowing what belongs to you to flow back in. As this shift continues, you may feel physical sensations, warmth in your hands, a burst of motivation or a jolt of clarity that pushes you forward. The financial shift isn't just about money, it's a spiritual sign that your purpose is activating. You are being prepared for a chapter where you will need more strength, more stability, and more resources. Purpose always brings expansion, and expansion requires support. So when the universe moves money toward you, it's not simply rewarding you, it's positioning you for the role you were meant to step into. Your mindset begins to change. Decisions that once scared you now feel natural. Old financial fears lose their grip. You start understanding what to pursue, what to avoid, where to invest your time, and where not to waste your energy. This clarity is the shift. The money is simply the confirmation that your path is opening in the right direction. As all of this unfolds, something deeper begins happening inside you. For a long time, you may have felt a quiet inner pressure, not fear or anxiety, but a feeling that something within you was preparing to change. That inner pull was the beginning of your real purpose waking up. Now, things that used to confuse you start making sense. Random thoughts click together, old memories suddenly feel Random thoughts click together. Old memories suddenly feel relevant, and patterns you never noticed before become clear. Your intuition grows sharper, almost like a radar that cuts through illusions you once believed. You stop doubting yourself. You stop shrinking your voice. You no longer downplay your truth to fit into places that were never meant for you. The confusion that once clouded your mind lifts like a storm clearing from the sky. Blended with this new clarity, you begin seeing why certain things had to happen. The heartbreaks were not punishments. The betrayals were not failures. The delays were not signs that you were forgotten. Every challenge was positioning you for a path that was already written for you, long before you understood it. And now that the alignment has settled in, you feel a grounding inside yourself that hasn't been present in years. Your mind stops chasing what isn't meant for you. Your heart stops fearing what is gone. Your energy stops leaking into places that cannot hold your value. You feel steady, centered, focused, like you are finally stepping into a higher version of yourself. With full awareness, then comes the moment when everything locks into place. Your confidence rises without you trying. You speak with more certainty. You move with purpose. Decisions that once took you weeks now take moments because your intuition and your direction finally match. You begin sensing people's intentions before they speak. You notice energies that don't align with you. You feel the difference between what is meant for you and what is not. You no longer attract chaos. You no longer open doors for situations that drain you. Your alignment turns you into someone who cannot be manipulated, distracted, or pushed away from your path. You see clearly now, not because your eyes have changed, but because your spirit has. Blended as your inner world becomes clearer and more focused, you start realizing something important. Your purpose was never just about surviving what you went through. It was about waking up to who you were always meant to become. Everything in your past, every hard moment, every setback, every disappointment didn't break you. It shaped your awareness so you could recognize the path that is now opening right in front of you. And there is a part of this shift that most people overlook. The next stage of your purpose is connected to someone who enters your life after November 16th. Not earlier, not later, right after that point, your alignment draws in a very specific person. Their presence matches the chapter you're stepping into, not the one you're leaving behind. They aren't random. They're written into your journey. They help activate a level within you that can't unlock on its own. The preparation happens within you, but the completion happens when they arrive. From that moment forward, things in your life change permanently. You may feel the universe rearranging things around you even before this person shows up. Relationships shift, old energies fall away, and your environment feels like it's being cleared out, as if the universe is setting the stage for something new. This connection can appear in many forms. A mentor with the wisdom you've been missing, a soulmate who feels strangely familiar, or a supportive presence whose energy lifts yours instead of draining it. Everything you've released recently, every person you've walked away from, every emotion you've processed, and every moment of solitude was preparing the space for this new connection. You may sense them coming before you meet them. Your thoughts sharpen, your inner awareness heightens, and you feel guided in a way that makes you feel protected and supported. Their presence won't overwhelm you or confuse you. Instead, it will bring clarity. Something within you wakes up when they enter your life, like a part of your spirit that has been waiting for the right moment to rise. This connection isn't accidental. It's orchestrated, timed, and aligned precisely with your spiritual growth. They appear when you are spiritually ready, when you can recognize who belongs in your future and who is only meant to teach you lessons. You begin seeing people more clearly, who should stay, who should go, who was temporary, and who is meant to walk beside you. The arrival of this destiny partner signals that your next chapter requires more than your individual strength. You're entering a phase where your purpose expands, and that expansion needs support, collaboration, and shared energy. Their presence accelerates your journey. Things start to move quicker, opportunities open more often, and your intuition becomes sharper. Your confidence grows naturally, and your direction becomes clearer. At some point, you'll realize that your timelines have intertwined in a way that feels guided rather than forced. They see your potential, understand your vision, and match your energy in a way that pushes both of you into higher purpose. OBNG. But even that connection is not the final change. There is one last shift that happens only after this person enters your life, the biggest transformation of all. This final phase is where everything you've been preparing for finally activates. You're not just starting a new chapter, you're stepping into an entirely new identity. The old version of you, the one shaped by fear, survival, self-doubt, and old wounds, begins to fade. It has served its purpose and cannot follow you into the future that's waiting for you. A more powerful identity rises, the one you kept tucked away because others couldn't handle your strength. But now the world no longer decides how bright you shine. This final shift happens when you stop apologizing for who you are, when you stop shrinking your voice, when you stop questioning your intuition, when you finally accept the depth of your calling and the strength you were born with. And this awakening doesn't unfold slowly. It happens like a surge of energy, clear, undeniable. Suddenly, everything that was blocked begins to move. All the confusion that lingered inside you disappears. Your inner voice becomes strong and certain. Your path becomes clear. You can feel yourself rising out of your old frequency, leaving behind fear, trauma, and the influence of people who never supported your growth. And at the same time, you feel yourself entering a new vibration that is honest, grounded, sharp, and aligned with the miracles that have been shaping your journey. Your destiny doesn't come alive tomorrow or someday far away. It activates now. This is the turning point. This is when the waiting ends and the universe begins guiding you instead of testing you. After this moment, nothing stays the same. Your energy changes, your direction changes, your relationships shift, your opportunities grow, and your purpose deepens. This is an irreversible transformation. You are stepping through a door that only opens once, and once you move through it, life meets you differently. This is why you felt so much pressure recently, why things in your life were shifting so suddenly, collapsing in some places and opening in others. Everything was preparing you for after November 16th. Your path begins to unfold at a pace and depth you've never experienced before. This is your divine shift. Don't resist it. Walk into it fully. Blend, and as this shift begins, something else starts to rise within you. A calm knowing, a steady certainty. You begin to understand that every moment before this one was preparation. Every closed door was protection. Every delay was alignment. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. You start seeing your life with new eyes. The people who once drained you lose their power. The memories that once hurt you lose their weight. Even the fears that once controlled you begin to fall apart. It's like your spirit finally exhales after holding its breath for years. You feel supported in a way you can't explain. You feel guided in a way that doesn't need proof. You feel watched over in a way that brings a quiet confidence. The kind of confidence that comes from knowing you are finally on the right path, the real path, the one meant for you. And as you step deeper into this alignment, you realize something surprising. Life doesn't feel heavy anymore. It feels possible. It feels open. It feels ready for you. Opportunities begin to show up in places you never expected. People begin to treat you differently without knowing why. Your presence changes rooms before you even speak. This is what happens when destiny activates. Your energy upgrades first. Your environment upgrades next. Your reality upgrades last. So breathe, step forward, Allow the transformation to continue unfolding. Because this is only the beginning of what's coming. Your story isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Uh, your blessings aren't distant, they're arriving. Your destiny isn't delayed, it's active now.